Welcome to a podcast brought to you by the American Academy of Orthopedic Manual Physical Therapists. Our academy is a national organization committed to excellence in orthopedic manual physical therapy practice, education, and research, and we're here to explore a wide range of topics with you through interviews with content experts.
Hello, my name is Stephen Shaffer, and I'm very pleased to welcome back to the show Dr. Megan Donaldson. You've heard Dr. Donaldson's voice before. She was our guest last year for both episodes number 18 and our 2019 conference preview. Now, roughly 1 year later, she's back to tell us about the forthcoming 2020 AAOMPT Conference. As was the case roughly 1 year ago, Dr. Donaldson is here in her official capacity as the chairperson of the Academy's Conference Committee. Dr. Donaldson, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on the show today.
We are excited to have you back, and having you back means that it's time for the conference to happen again, which is, of course, one of my favorite times of the year. And before we dive in, let's just say officially for the record that we're recording this conversation on September 28th. And that it's going to go live on October 8th. So, of course, what that means is that listeners should check back in when it comes to details with the AAOMPT website. So, of course, we have a conference tab on our website. And if you click on that tab, you're going to find the most up-to-date information when it comes to the conference.
That is correct. And I can tell you, we don't anticipate too many more changes. I mean, there's been a lot already this year, obviously, but it is always best to kind of keep the most up to date by looking at the schedule at a glance, and then keeping up to date in terms of just looking at if there's any other changes on the website.
Excellent. Thank you for clarifying that. Of course, you made reference to this year, which is the year of COVID. That means things are different. With respect to things being different, I just want to go through a quick succession of questions, and then we'll dive a little bit deeper into the content. So my first question is, when is this year's conference?
It is held November 5th through the 8th. So that is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we'll have post-conferences sessions on a Sunday.
And I apologize, but I have a trick question for you. Where is this year's conference being held?
It's everywhere. It's a virtual conference this year.
I love it. It's everywhere. I think anybody can therefore attend. That's spectacular. I ask you most of these questions because I already know the answers, but I actually have a question that I don't know the answer to, and that is, do we have a theme this year when it comes to the conference?
So actually, Stephen, a few years ago, as part of the conference committee, we really committed ourselves to building the AAOMPT brand. And with that, we have decided, and that was actually last year's first time, to not really have a conference theme. What that allows us to do is align ourselves really with IFOMPT in terms of the roles of what the OMPT does, right? So we're communicators, we're expert practitioners, we're clinicians. We have so many different roles. And so to limit us by doing a theme, it further limits what our audience gets to hear. And so a few years ago, we decided that we were branding this the AAOMPT annual conference. And so the theme is everything OMPT. So that's what we do.
I love it. I think it's spectacular. And building off that point, of course, I think it's a great theme, or lack of theme, we should say. Can you tell me if an attendee, let's call them a prospective attendee, can still register for the conference?
Yes, registration is open. There's great discounts for students. We have a great rate this year. It's much lower than our typical conference year. The rationale for that is obviously we want to really have anybody interested in attending, and even the first time attendee for an AAOMPT conference. We feel that this will put it at an affordable rate and encourage people to attend this first time virtual conference for AAOMPT.
You've already kind of mentioned the whole, and I mentioned as well, the online portal, but can you tell me, Is the schedule online? And if people are potentially interested in attending the online conference or the virtual conference, can they go onto the website and see all of the spectacular listings of what's going to happen?
So we do have a schedule at a glance, or if you look at the AAOMPT annual conference virtual, they have a schedule, and it basically lists everything in Eastern time zone. That's when we will be running the conference because it was supposed to be in Cleveland this year. So we kept consistent the time zone where this was initially going to be held, but we have, I would say, softened it to ensure that those on the West Coast and East Coast and in the middle of the country, Central time zone, could all accommodate the schedule. So, absolutely good details. Actually, if you go to register, it's the same kind of details will occur in your registration. You'll be able to click on the names and it takes you to their bios. If you click on the topic title of the session, it will give you the description of the title. So, I think it's pretty detailed.
That sounds great. Thank you for that summary. And can you tell us what's different? How is this going to be the same, different, etc.? There's going to be a virtual AAOMPT conference. It's the first time we've ever had this type of conference. If somebody registers and shows up to hang out with their AAOMPT brethren, what can they expect?
So, Stephen, thanks for asking that. I think we all recognize what we come for the AOMP conference. It varies for every person, but some of the things that we most value are the networking time, the bonding time, and we appreciate great programming. I can assure you that we have been very mindful about trying to build that even in this virtual environment. So, we have taken our time to ensure that we're actually on a virtual platform for this conference, not just Zoom meetings, but we actually have a platform. And so, what we will do is make sure that all of the speakers are oriented so that they have a good understanding of how to best deliver their message and their sessions on this virtual platform. And then, as the conference chair, I'm actually going to do a recorded session about how I get in, how, as the attendees, basically walking through in their shoes, showing them the ropes, exactly what they need to do. We purchased, or I should say, we're using, right, a very user friendly platform. And most of our sessions, keynotes, panels, and the PTI lectures, those will all be live events. So, you basically click on it and you'll see all of these speakers live. We'll have other live events, such as networking events. We call them lunch and learns. And so we're really excited to offer those as well. So again, we will kind of walk in the shoes of the attendee, show you exactly where to click when it's time and give you that outline. We'll send great instructions so that the audience and the attendees know exactly what to do so they can get the most out of this conference.
I love it. It sounds like a great event. And if I can ask a little bit of a more specific question, who are going to be our keynote speakers this year?
Yes, great question. So we have Louis Pentadura, which I think most of us know at AOMPT. He is a fellow and has been around AOMPT for so many years, and it's such an honor to have him speak to our group. We're so excited. And then Leonardo Costa. He is, again, out of the Brazil area, so we are really excited to have him join us. So many publications, such a great area of expertise in low back pain and treatment. So, again, very excited to bring him. Unfortunately, not in person, right? But definitely live enough that our audience will have some interaction with him. And so, those are our two keynotes this year.
And just like every other year, we're going to have breakout sessions, correct?
We have 18 breakout sessions this year.
That sounds spectacular. So, part of the message that I'm getting from you is that this is going to be the same type of conference that we always have. However, we're going to be sitting at a computer and being respectful of the COVID-19 situation. Is that correct?
That's right. So, we will ensure that you still have a lot of interaction, but we are maintaining our physical distancing from one another this year.
Perfect. That sounds like the Academy is taking the correct response to the current situation. I'm stoked to hear that we are marching forward in a safe and respectable fashion. So, I, for one, am excited. I apologize in advance, but I have not registered as of yet. I will do that after we are done recording today. And I am super stoked to hear that we're marching forward and having a conference, and I look forward to seeing how it goes. Dr. Donaldson, thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you for sharing what you know about the conference, and I look forward to seeing how it goes.
Thank you, Stephen. We appreciate it. I hope everyone will look forward to the updates and the communication that comes out, and what aspects of the sessions that they'll be able to appreciate that are live, what sessions will be recorded. And just so everyone knows, you can view the sessions up to 30 days after the event. So this really does give the opportunity for those who can't do everything in real time, still the opportunity to register and still get the great educational information a little bit more on their own pace if sitting for the entire time duration is not feasible.
That's an excellent point. I'm glad you brought that up. That was a question that I did not even know to ask. So we have this platform, and we should register now. We should pay attention in the immediate term. However, I think, and I don't know this off the top of my head, I apologize, but on the calendar, is it the same? Is it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday as we normally would have?
Right. So we start on Thursday. We will do a Thursday morning. It actually starts at 11 a.m. So it's a Thursday morning, and then we run through Saturday evening. However, we did post-conference to allow our clinicians the opportunity to learn from incredible clinicians in these post-conference type sessions, which we typically used to run those as pre-conference. But this, again, not running on a Wednesday, making sure clinicians who are in the clinics, especially during the COVID situation, are able to have their clinical times and not impact the clinic hours. We moved these to live post-conference sessions.
Excellent. You are diving into, again, territory that I didn't even know to ask about. There are no pre-conferences this year. We're going to have post-conference sessions.
That's right. And so, again, this is all live. So you'll be able to interact with the actual speaker in these post-conference sessions.
That sounds amazing. I am very much looking forward to it. And once again, I thank you for coming on the podcast and helping us understand what the conference is going to look like this year.
Thanks, Stephen. I look forward to seeing everyone virtually.
This has been a production of the American Academy of Orthopedic Manual Physical Therapists. You can learn more about the Academy by visiting our website at AAOMPT.org. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by searching for our acronym, AAOMPT. The views and opinions expressed on the AAOMPT podcast are those of the interviewers and interviewees and do not represent the official position of AAOMPT. The information presented should not be used as personal healthcare or clinical practice advice. If you need to find an expert orthopedic physical therapist near you, then check out the Find a Fellow feature under the Public Resources tab at www.AAOMPT.org, which you can find in the show notes.